everyone, welcome to our chapter. We are discussing the chapter Morphology of the Flowering Plants. And we discussed the structure of the stem and the root. Next we are discussing the leaf, morphology of leaf. Leaf is a flattened lateral outgrowth produced from the stem at the node. Leaves originate from leaf primordia. Root is formed from radicle and shoot is formed from the plumule. On that way, the leaves are originated from leaf primordia. Leaves are originated from the leaf primordia. Clear it is. So, leaf is a flattened lateral outgrowth produced from the stem. At the node. And leaves originate from the leaf primordia. It performs the vital functions like photosynthesis and transpiration. Leaf performs the functions like the photosynthesis and transpiration. The main parts of the leaves are leaf base, petiole and the lamina. The main part of a leaf is that is leaf base, then petiole and the lamina. Okay, what is leaf base? The lateral outgrowth developed on either side of the leaf base is called, here look here, this portion that is the leaf base portion. Okay. So here the lateral outgrowth. So here showing a lateral outgrowth seeing in the base portion. The lateral outgrowth developed on the either side of the leaf base, that is called stipule. So some leaves having the stipule and some have no the stipule. So the leaves which have stipule that are known as stipulate. Stipulate, and the leaves without stipules are known as ex-stipulate. Spelling is stipulate. Clear it is. So the first part of the leaf, that is the leaf base, the lateral outgrowths develop on the side of the leaf base, that is known as stipule. The plants which are leaf with stipules are known as stipulate, and the plant which lack the stipule are known as ex-stipulate. And the leaf base is swollen. In some plant, the leaf base is, in case of our hibiscus, chambarati, the leaf base is swollen. This type of swollen leaf base. Swollen, seen in the legume plants, like, okay, so that is known as pulvinous. Swollen leaf base, that is known as pulvinous. So we discussed two new terms. One is stipule and the next one is pulvinous. The next portion is petiole. So this portion is the leaf base portion, and this one is the petiole portion, and this is the leaf lamina portion. Clear? Petiole means the stalk of the leaf is known as petiole. A leaf having petiole, that is known as petiolate, and one without petiole, that is known as sessile. Sessile. The main stalk of a compound leaf is called rachis. Okay, this is a single leaf. I am telling about the compound leaf, the main stalk. Okay, that is known as rachis. So petiole, the stalk of the leaf is known as petiole. So this is the base portion. The base portion having stipule, and the stalk, thand porate portion, that is petiole. Okay, and this is the leaf lamina portion. Leaf lamina portion contain the vein and the midrib. Okay. The leaf having the petiole, that is known as petiolate, and the without petiole, that is known as sessile. The main stalk of a compound leaf, that is known as rachis. Then we are discussing about the leaf lamina. So leaf lamina means it is a green, expanded, photosynthetic performing part of the leaf. It is also known as leaf blade. Okay. Vascular tissues is formed of midrib and branches of vein. In the case of the venation, it is separate in the case of the dicot and the monocot. So we discuss different types of features of the dicot and the monocot. Okay, so here This type of venation that is known as reticulate venation. Reticulate venation. But in case of the monocot plant, they show the parallel venation. When we are observing the leaf of a paddy, okay, that we can see the parallel venation. So leaf lamina, otherwise known as leaf blade, it is the green expanded photosynthetic performing part of a leaf. Vascular tissue is formed of midrib and the branches of veins. Venation is reticulate in dicot and in parallel in monocot. It is very important. We studied the differentiation in the case of the root. The taproot is present in the case of dicot. Fibrous root present in the case of monocot. On that way, the venation. Venation means the arrangement of the leaf veins. Okay, the arrangement of the vein is known as venation. The venation is reticulate in the case of dicot. Reticulate. This type of venation is reticulate. It is not in a particular form. Okay. And the monocot parallel venation will be seeing in the case of monocot. Clear it is. Then we are discussing the type of leaf. Mainly the type of leaves include simple leaf and the compound leaf. Simple leaf. Okay, so this is an example for a single or simple leaf. So it consisting of a single leaf blade as like our China rose. Okay, single leaf blade. Example our China rose. These two are the example for the compound leaves. Compound leaf. Compound leaves are two type, either pinnately compound leaves or palmately compound. Palmately means palm, just like our fingers. Okay, so palmately compound leaf. So one is pinnately compound leaf and another one is the palmately compound leaf. Okay, so we studied that the leaf have a common stalk. This common stalk is known as rachis. On that rachis, the leaves are arranged. Okay, so the pinnately compound leaves and the palmately compound leaves. In pinnately compound leaves, the example neem. The leaves are arranged opposite. On the opposite side of the rachis, these leaves are getting arranged. Example neem. So the compound leaves are two type, pinnately compound leaf and the palmately compound leaf. The common stalk of the leaf is called rachis. The compound leaves are two types. I told you that pinnately and palmately, and the pinnately compound leaves which is seen in the neem, and the palmately compound leaf is seen in our silk cotton. The palmately compound leaf is seen. This is an palmately compound leaf, and this one is the pinnately compound leaf. It's clear to you? Okay, I hope all these points are clear to you. The next we are discussing venation. Already we discussed what is venation. Venation is two type, reticulate venation and the parallel venation. In case of the dicot plant, that is seeing the reticulate venation, and in case of the monocot plant, that is seeing the parallel venation. Next we are discussing another topic, that is phyllotaxy. Okay, so phyllotaxy means mode of arrangement of leaves on the stem. That is known as phyllotaxy. On the phyllotaxy basis, the plants are classified into three types: alternate, opposite and the whorled. Clear it is? Opposite, alternate and whorled. So we are discussing the portion of the leaf, and we discuss the structure of the leaf. The leaf having the leaf base, then the stipule, pulvinus, petiole, then the leaf blade, it having the veins, midrib and lateral vein, lamina, like that. Then venations are two types. Parallel venation and the reticular venation. Veins are arranged. Venation means the arrangement of the vein, that is known as venation. The veins are repeatedly branched to form the network or reticulum. That is the feature of the dicotyledons. And in parallel venation, the veins are run parallel to one another. Okay, from the base to apex. They are run parallel to one another from the base to the apex. That's the feature of the monocot plant. Then we are discussing the phyllotaxy. Phyllotaxy means the mode of arrangement of leaves on the stem. The mode of arrangement of leaves on the stem, that is known as phyllotaxy. The mode of arrangement of leaves on the stem, that is known as phyllotaxy. The phyllotaxies are mainly three types: alternate, opposite and whorled. Alternate means a single leaf arises from a node in the same plane or in the spiral form. That occurs in the case of China rose and the hibiscus. I will show you the picture, then you will be understand what is alternate. Then opposite means a pair of leaf is born at a node opposite to each other. Example for this opposite, that is guava. Okay, and the next one is the whorled. Three or more leaves occur at a node. Three or more leaves occur at a node. That is opposite. Example for the opposite, that is example for the group is Alstonia is an example for that group. Clear? So we are discussing the phyllotaxy. Phyllotaxy is the pattern of arrangement. So look here, you can see this picture. This is textbook picture. So here the first example, China rose. So in this China rose, the leaves are arranged oppositely. Okay. So here the leaves are arranged. This is the correct opposite. Here this is not correct opposite. Here they are. Here one is there. Then next one just above the another one. Okay. Then the next one is just above the in this side. So in alternate way, the leaves are arranging. But when we are observing the figure of the guava plant, the two leaves are on these branches. The two leaves are arranged on oppositely. Here alternatively, and here they are arranged oppositely. But you can see what you'll be seeing here. Here the arrangement is whorled. Okay, whorled means what? Whorled means from a portion, from this node, from a particular node, more than 3 or 4 leaves are arranging in a rotated motion. So this is an example. Alstonia. Malayalam of Alstonia is Pala. Okay, Pala. Then phyllotaxy, again repeating, I am phyllotaxy is the arrangement of leaves on the stem. It is alternate. Example, China rose. China rose means hibiscus. Okay. Then mustard also example. Sunflower is another example. Then the pair of leaves arise at a node and arrange in a opposite, that is guava. Then in case of Alstonia, a pair of leaf. Leaf arranged in opposite, that in case of guava plant. But in case of Alstonia, more than 2 or 3 leaves arranged or occurs at a node and arranged in a circular manner. Okay, that is whorled phyllotaxy. WHORLED, whorled phyllotaxy. Clear it is?